Hi everyone, good morning. I'm Charles. Today I would like talking about data science. I'm from the Department of the Bioinformatics and Medical Engineering for Asia University and the Center for Artificial Intelligence and AI Precision Medicine. Today I would like talking about follow data science, data processing, data visualization, and the statistics data analysis. Data science is the new oil. How many IT systems is driven by the capture. Data science about make decisions for the business. Structure study protein structure in biological or decision of the medical marketing and campaign. All the studying in the random nature part of the using the mathematical model and selecting graphic database. And this cross the business model or the scientific logical with the data analysis. Data science is a provide driving the knowledge, understanding from the handling set data, then the organization, processing, and analysis data. Data science involves the different like the mathematical and the statistical model. Each data from the score and the applied data visualization technology. Okay, data science requirement system is very important. It's the first data science topic. And online shopping become more plans in the economy plans are about capture using the shopping the platform. The left the capture the requirement system, which the key query the model predict the shopping needs and show the product the shopping make like to buy it. The second part, the financial risk, fantasy risk manager. Fantasy risk manager is the loss the credit at better analytics by the using the customer's past the spend ahead. Define out the financial income, community, and many cost equation in it. Their data is a great fund source a different fund. Organize them together get into class for needs to help data science. Okay, second is the healthcare using. The healthcare deals with the validated of the data which can be classified into technology data and finally data and the protein the information and draft information and all of this data needs to be analyzed in the cost managed for in very with saved costs but for healthcare provide and healthcare received with the risk comment. Computer vision. Advanced recent and image by the computing advanced processing logical science in the image data from the multiple objects of the something. For example, the face recognition and object detection and something. So processing of the huge the data set of the create of the model need to vary to using the data science. Okay, energy. Effect management of the energy. As the demand for energy consequences shocks the image process product compare need to the management value of the energy product and the distribution more effect. Okay. So the programming of the data science definitely very less than yeah, which is simple to write code but can handle high complex mathematical processing. I think Python is the more study for such the requirement as the it but already is implementing its step-water language for general computing as well as the science computing. Moreover, it is the become to up in from new edit to it part of the library. Below, we discuss some of the features using the Python, which make it the language for data science. Python Panda package. It's the open source. It's the Python library using the high performance data manipulation and the data analysis using the powerful data structure. Python the Panda in using in the field of the ascent and the computing domain include finance, economy, statistics, and the web analytics and more. Using the Panda, we can identify top steps in the processing and data analysis of the data, recording of the organization of data, object mapping model, and the analysis data. Below are some important features of the Panda. It's using the specified for the data processing and the data analysis work. Key feature of the Panda. First, Panda is very fast, very fast, and effect data frame object which define the customized index. The tool to loading data in memory data object, different file form, data upgrade and the integrate hand of the machine data, and then group by data is actually the transformation and the high performance means join of the data time series function. Okay, Panda dimension and discussion. The best way think this data structure is that higher dimension data structure is a combination of its low dimension data structure. For example, the data frame is the contract of the serial plant. It's the control of the data frame. Series is the one-dimension array. It's like with the home domain data. For example, to follow the series, it's current in degree 10, 23, and 20 and 15 sticks. Panda data frame is the two-dimension. It's different series. The series is the one-dimension. Data frame is the two-dimension array. The here graded data. For example, the table is a name, age, engine, and rating. The table represents the data series, the team of the organized which they overframes the region. The data is represented in row and color, each color and the red each for response in the person. Okay, second important the package in the data science or data analytics. It's called NumPy. NumPy is the Python package with the standard number pi. It's the library consider multiple methods array object. Using the NumPy, a department of the U program the follow the option and the method and the logical operation on the array. So NumPy just I think NumPy is focused on array. The processing is very better. And optimize the linear regression. NumPy have the inbuilt function for the linear argand and the random number generate. And second library is called 6 Python, like NumPy. It's the a processing run over property updating the system and quickly to include free and challenging and easy to use it. I think NumPy and 6Py the same library to processing array performance. Metaplot library is the Python using can create a 2D or 3D graphic and then plot by using the Python sprints. Its more name is the py plot, which make the easy for the plot by per year feature and in that style for 2D chapter something. Okay, so this is the matplotlib example. The follow the screen print and the C weight plot using the matplotlib library. Okay, here is the Python called import the NumPy as the MP and import the metaplot as the branch. And then we can compare in the x and y for a point on the system the code, and then using the meta library to plot your data. The plot of the using the NumPy in output is the follow the picture. Okay. Python hand data of the visual from imaging this the two library and Panda and NumPy is very important to processing data. We have already seen the important feature of them two library in the provided in this slide. In this slide, we will be see some the basic example for each the library how to open the data. Okay, the more important object defined the NumPy is the n dimension array type 2. N is the dimension is the nd array. It discusses the correlation of the item of the same type. Item in the correlation can be accessed using the zero-based index, and the instance of the nd array class can be consistent constructed by different array. Constructor reading discussing later in this study. Based on n dimension, is the nd array. Nd array is to create a new array function in the NumPy. You can follow the Python code. It's NumPy. It's NumPy array. It's more than the one dimension in first name is using the import the NumPy as the MP, and using the MP array, this one dimension array. You can see output is to follow the here. Okay, the data operation in the NumPy. So this case just the one dimension, and this case the many dimension. You can using the np array and the n dimension set the 2 equal 2. So the output is the result followed here, and the d type parameter import the nu NumPy as the np. So we can see here is the output it follow the 1 dot the plus 0 点 j dot j. Okay, we will see some example from each there. The panda hand data in the series. Here we create the series from using the NumPy array. So first import panda is the PD, and second import NumPy as the NP, and using the NP library, the NP array, to set the data set. Okay, so here show the output is 0 is A, 1 is B, 2 is C, and the D type mean is the object. The second, we can show the data frame. Data frame is important in the data science and the machine learning, the matrix. Let us now create I index the data frame using the array. So this is the case. If you have free time, you can try write the Python code. Okay, here is the output with data we set the name and age. So time is the 28, the jack is the 34. So you can build the data frame, the data type. Okay, the 3 is the planet at the cube. It's the 3D. It's the 3D dimension. It's below example. We can create the planet from the different dimension of the data frame, the object. So this is a Python example. You can try to create the basic data and then using the planet to show. In data science part study, data cleaning is very important step. Machine data always the problem in the real life scenario, where like the machine learning and data mining and face issue. So data cleaning is very important. Why is the data mission? What is the data mission? Let us see how we can hand mission the value, say NA or NAN, using the panda. The few people see the example, but now how large are using the product feed people share how long using this product. Okay, so there is private, but the contact information that's in some of the other way in the part of the data in OS machine, and this the very commuting in real time using the read index. Using the df read index function, we can create a data frame with the machine value in the output. We can find the NAN or mean is the now of the number. To make a detection mission, the value panda provide have the two. I think panda it provide the two function to delete mission value. First function is it's null and not null. Okay, and The second part, clean and feed the machine data. So here we the processing the machine value and check it. And second, we can clean the machine data. The Panda provide the method to clean the machine data and the feed function, the fit in the NA value is the non-null data in the capture of the way, which we have the instead follow the session. Okay, replace NaN with the scale value. The follow program to show how you can replace the NaN with the 0. So first you need to import the Panda as the PD, and then using the import numpy as the MP. So we can set up the numpy data. It's the NaN data, and using the reindex, we can see the result here. Here we fit the value is the result. You can see this is the original data set, and here is using 0 to replace NaN value. Okay. And fit the NA forward and backward function using the code in the complex of the fit discussed in the release, but in this study we need to feed the machine data the matter. So you can see here it's using data frame is the df that and the fitting the matter using the pad functions. So we can find here is the fitting the result, and drop a machine value. If you want to see each the machine value, then using the drop function in the it's the Python drop function along with the s by different s equal 0. For example, a long row which method that if you value each row is NA, then whole row is it's cube. Replace the mission or the general value. Many times we have the replace of the general value with the sum value. We can by apply the replace method. Replace NA with the square value is behavior of the using the fixed NA functions. So here is the using the replace fit function the result. Okay, before we discussed how to processing the machine data, and this is session we will be discuss processing the CSV data. We get the data from different source, which can get each of two CSV format. So they can be using of the different system. The Panda library provide the feature using the which we can read the CSV file in features with as we as in the plot for the only selection group and of the column and the row. The CSV file and the text file, which the value in the column as processing, they consider the follow the data present in the file name is input .csv file. Okay, so you can create this file using the Windows or make always by the copy paste in this data and save the file is the input .csv using the save the all files options. Okay, first you must create input CSV file. Okay, if you create a CSV file, and second, you can use in the Panda library read the CSV function of the you read the content of the CSV file into the Python environment as the Panda data frames. So this sample we use in the Panda library read CSV function. Here is the Python code, and here we can see the CSV file contents the same with the create the input.csv file. One where is cue the about code in product follow the result. Please know how to the addition column start and the zero and in index have been cleaned by the function. The real space the raw function. So first here we using the Panda the library and then Panda read the CSV. So if you just want to read the file raw, you can use in this query. Okay, the data and the 0 to 5 and just focus on series. Here is the show file number about series data, and read the spaces the column is the same function using the multiple as the index function is data.loc function. It just set the serial name, and here is serial name, and then the name and serial. So you can see you can see here just only show serial and name. Okay, if you want to specify the column and row, and you can use in the bold function like the here. You want to just 3 rows, so you can set in the 1, 3, and 4, and then 2 column name is the serial the name. So here is the result you can see, and like you can see here to show the result. Okay, here is the reader sprint column of the range. You can, for example, it's a 2 to 3 to 6. So in this sample and show the 2 to 6 the rows. Okay, here is the data you can see here. So the LOC is for the very purpose we can choose the display the salary and name and the color for the something of rows. Okay, before we discuss the CSV file, it's very I think it's very popular data format. And the second JSON file is the JSON file data and the text in the human reliable form. It's very important and popular the format. JSON starting the JavaScript object notation. Panda can read the JSON file using the read JSON. For first step, we need to create you need to create the JSON data. So you can follow here and copy paste and from your test editor. Then save with the .json. For example, you can say input.json is changed to all the files. Okay. So here is the read JSON function of the Panda library can be using the read JSON file in the Panda data form. So here is the Python code. When we execute best code you process in the follow. Here is the result. Okay. Similar to what we have already seen in the problem, this is style to the reader CSV file and the real JSON function. The Panda library can also be using the read some specify column and the specify row after the JSON file is read to the data frame. We using the master as the index method called .loc. So the same panda.loc functions we choose the displays the series name column for the sum of the row. Okay, here is the Python code. If you have free time, I think you can try run the code. When we execute of the code, the product of the follow the result is shown here. Using the finish and apply the feature makes it very frequency using tool in the data science. The Panda library provide the feature using which we can read the Excel file in the fixed wheel. Excel file is very well used in the Starship program. We create a Excel file with the multiple fields in the Windows OS or Mac OS. The data in the different sheet is shown below. Okay, you can copy it here and create Excel programming file in the Windows OS or the Mac OS. The set the file the save as input XML. Okay, the read Excel function of the Panda library is using read the contents of and the Excel file into the Python environment as the Panda data frames. The function can read the file for the OS by the purpose that to the file by define the function with the reader sheet 1. So here first line is import the Panda as the PD and using the Panda function the read Excel you can set in your paths, and when we execute about code it product follow the result shown here. Please know how to indent column start with a little to index have been created its functions. Similar to what we can already see provide study to the reader CSV file. The reader Excel function of the Panda library can be used in the reader sum space the column and space the row. We can use in the math as index method to call the .loc the function for the purpose. we choose the display the series and name current row. Here is the Python code using the data.loc the function. When we execute the code, we can find here is the result. Okay, multiple sheet with the different data format can also be read using the read itself function, with the help wrap class name is Excel file. Here it's different Excel, so it's different Excel. It's we the multiple sheets into memory only once. In the below example, we read sheet 1 and sheet 2 into the data frame and the point of the individual. So here is the read. Sorry about that. This is the read sheet 1, and this is sheet 2, and print sheet 1 data and print sheet 2. When we execute the about code, you can follow the result. Here is the sheet 1 result, and here is the sheet 2 result. Okay, 3 part is the data visualization. Data visualization is very important in the data science. Python have and it's called the library of the data visualizations. So the combination of the Panda, NumPy, and MathBar can help it create the nice type of relation chart. In this chart, we using get star looking at something the chart relation part of the chart. Now first step, we create the chapter. We using the NumPy lab to create the number to map for create the chapter of the py part method in the method to drop the up the chart. So first step, we create using the NumPy create the data, and using the matplan library to show the part. So here we can see the result, and we can apply the lab to the as title for the chat using the applied method from the library shown below. Here we can as the title, the graphic and time, and the date and distance. Okay, so you can find the graphic, distance, and time. The style as the color for the die in the chapter can be specified using the applied method for library showed here. So the same here is the before and the label of the ads and the title set. In here you can set in the formation, the light color and light type. Here is the show the result. Okay, the chapter can be saved. It's very important. So here is the show you want to visualization, or you want to plot data, and the chapter saving is very important. Yeah, so the chart can be saved the different image file format using the applied method from the library to show here. And here you can see here the save the PDF format. PDF format and high quality image set. So usually I like using the PDF save. Okay. The chapter create Python can be have the feature style by using some applied method from the library using for the chapter. In this study, we see the important and annotate larger in the chat background. We will consider using the code from the that chapter and modify it to edit the style of the chapter. Okay, this is using the edit the annotation, the second engine, the tree engine. Okay, many times we need to annotate the chapter, the height and space and local of the chapter. In the below example, we induct the share the chapter in very indirectly chapter by analytics by points. So here they show the Python code, and here it's using the Metaprod library annotate functions. So annotate S equal the second entry, and here is the S equal 3 entries. Its output is the showed here. You can see the annotate the word. Okay. We sometimes need to chapter with the multiple line be the port using the logical represent represent the master assist code with the each line. In the below chapter we can have the 3 line important logical. So you can set 3 different line. Okay, so reading here is the same using the the assets and title. So here is annotation before we study the here functions. And here in this style the study edit large. So you can use in the Metaprod library at all large function to show. You can see here is the 3 different data included in the poll. Okay, we can modify the presentation style of the chapter by using the different method from the style background. So here we adapt the style of the background. In here we using the face. So output the result show here is this is a background is different here. Okay, and then before we discuss the chapter, so here we discuss the passport are the measure of the how well this destination the data and the data set in divide the data set into the 3 equations. Okay, so to drop the passport can be dropped called serial passport function, and you can choose the using the data frame plot. So here we choose the plot function to visualize the dimension of the value is each column. For instance, here is the port represent the 5 chamber of the 10 here. it's a 10% of the unified random variable 0 to 1. So here the set of random array is a 10 to 5, and color the name is set A B C D E, and using the prime bus to show the bus plane. Here is the short result. Okay. And then He-mapper contributes very represent the value show some color for each value p port. Okay, He-mapper contains value represent variance show of the same color for each value to be the port. Usually the disk shape of the shader represent high value than legend shift. For the very different value compares different color can be also used. In here example of the two-dimension pattern and the value which are the map using the map the function to the index and the column and the chapter. So here it's using the p columns. Okay, so you can find the result is the He-map part. Okay, so next step we can sculpt the port, show the many point and the port into quantum. Each point represent the value of the two variable. Once variable is the choice into how we manage the assets and another in the avails. The dropping the scope the part the same function using the data frame and the random reader the 15 to 4, and then using the square part you can show here is the square part the result. Okay, time series is a different like a dimension or the point data. So time series is the series data point in the which it data point that is in the time stamp. So a simple example is the print of the stack in the stack marketing at a different point of time of the genus. Other example the along the reader in the region at a different amount the year. In below the sample of the previous take different days of the giving the query. The data the saved the file in the stick and the CSV file. Okay, so here we can using the Python to read the stick.csv file, and then using the time series to the port data. So time series is here. Okay, so here we can see we talk the value the stake point each day for quality for you can stake. We capture the value as the CSV file and then organizing them to data file using the Panda library. We then set data file as the index the data frame by the recreation the addition value column and index the delete for all column. So here is the Python the code, and then here is the show the result. Okay, the state analysis is very important in the data science. Metrically central and measure of the center of the dimension of the local value of the data set. In the given idea of the average value, the data in the data set, and also an induction of the how well is the value in the square in this the data set. There is a tree mean measure of the center tree which it can be used in the math in the Panda Python library. So first one is the matter, it the average value of the data, and the second the mid is the mid value in the distribution, and the second the mode. Their function, their Panda the function is very quickly. You can study your data set. Okay, here is the correct method and method function to your data. The Panda function can be directly using the category that vary. So here you create a dictionary, the salary, the data, and create the data frame. So using the mat and the mat to quickly calculate your data. Okay, method may of the method may or may not available in distribution, the dependent of the where the data and continue or where there will value which is the master frequency. We're talking some distance below to find out the model. Here we have the value which have the maximum frequency, the dimensions. Okay, here the same create the distribution the salary, and using the model you can quickly understanding the frequency in your data. So here is the data, and then quickly we can see the plot. Measure standard distribution. I think distribution in it's not distribution. Here it's a major vary in the statistics and the vary and the metrics of how far a value in the data science is from the math value in other words in the how different value is measured by the standard distribution. The other method can use in the scanning. So the same here is create data and create a Panda and calculate the standard distribution. You can get quickly get your data. You can and fast calculate your data, can then measure standard distributions. Okay. So measure value it using the distribution with the data in the segment of the stake if the index between the -1 and 1. Then this tracing in the segment if you index not more than minus then it the stairward of the left and it at those 1. Okay, here they show the measures and the scan is the function. You can quickly get measures the variances. Okay, normal distribution. The normal distribution is the from the present the data arrange the properly the distribution of the each value into the data dot most value remark around the meta value mask around the system. We can vary function into the NumPy library to mathematically calculate the value for the normal distribution. The history created over which we plot the which populate the distribution the cost. So here is the Python the code, and here is the output result. So if you want to try set up the normal distribution set. Okay. P-value is where p-value is about the hypothesis. We build a hypothesis based on some statistical model, and compare the model value using the p-value. One will get p-value is using the t-test. Okay. This is the tools I set for the hypothesis that is to the value of the sample independent of the subvention. A is the quickly to giving the property method. So here using the PubMed, they using the consider the follow the here example. So here include the SCI Python. So the CI, the long range and the RVC data, and the present. You can below it result. We can see the you can see the here result. Okay. So here's sorry about that. This is the first the p-value result, and this is the second. So we set the two way to the compare different hypothesis data set using the t-test. So here is the t-test, the p-value result. Okay. In linear regression, there are two variable relations and equation, which is the power of the both. There, the value is the one. Mathematics is the linear relationship represent standard line with the plot and the graph, and nonlinear relationship with the explain the value is not equal to one create cut. So the function in this case we can use in the function in the slide bar to find the linear regression duration. It's a regression path. Here we show the example to plot the linear regression path. It is showed here. Okay, thank you for your listen. If you have any question, please contact us or send to email for me. Sorry. Okay. So here is my email. So if you have any question about the data science or machine learning, you can send me your question. Okay, thank you.